Hello everyone and welcome back to CodeChef. So far we have learned how to work with basic file operations like reading and writing text files. But in real-world projects, data is rarely stored as plain text. We commonly work with formats like CSV and JSON, which are the same formats that are used in web applications, APIs, data analytics and backend systems. In this video, we will take a big step towards real project development by learning how to process structured files in C++. So let's get started. What is file processing? File processing means reading data from a file, modifying it or writing new data into a file instead of using only console input and output. C++ supports file processing using the fstream library, which allows us to read data from files, write data to files and store data permanently. What is a CSV file? CSV stands for comma separated values. Each line represents a record and values are separated by commas. CSV files are plain text files. Each row is usually read as a string. We split each line using commas to extract values from CSV files. Reading a CSV file. Steps to read a CSV file include: first, open the file using ifstream. Then, read line by line using getLine method. And then, split the line using a delimiter, which is basically a comma. Now let us go to the CodeChef platform to see how to read a CSV file in C++. The program objective is CSV read example. The file that we are going to read is data.csv. So, first, we are going to open this file using the ifstream. Then each line is read using the command getLine, and then inside the method we have applied file, line, where file is an object of ifstream and line is basically the line that we want to read. Then we are going to use the loop to check each character. Now if the character is a comma, then the current value is printed followed by a space. Otherwise, the character is added to a temporary string. Once the loop has finished reading the line, the last cell is printed and a new line is started. Let us go to the code. Hash include iostream, hash include fstream, hash include string. Using namespace std semicolon, int main, brackets, then curly brace begin for the main function, ifstream file, then in brackets, in double inverted comma, we are writing the name of the file, that is data.csv, bracket close and semicolon. So here we have data.csv file, which has this content, line 1, line 2, line 3. Then if in bracket file.isOpen method and bracket close, then curly brace begin, string line, semicolon. Now we are going to read each line from the file, for which we are using the while loop. While in bracket getLine in bracket file line bracket close, while block bracket close, then curly brace begin for the while loop code. String cell is equal to double inverted commas and semicolon. Now we are running a loop through each character of the string. Now we are running a loop through each character using the for loop. For, then bracket int I is equal to 0, semicolon I less than line dot length method, semicolon I plus plus, bracket close, then curly brace begin for the for loop code. Then we have an if block inside the for loop. If bracket line and then I in square bracket, that means for each value of I in the line, we will check the condition is equal to comma. Bracket close, curly brace begin for the if block. Cout, the value of cell will be printed and then space in double inverted commas and semicolon. So what will happen? This particular line of code will print the cell followed by a space. Then cell is equal to, in double inverted commas, there is nothing and semicolon. So it will basically reset the cell string. Bracket close for the if block, then else, curly brace begin for else block, cell, plus is equal to line and then in square bracket I, bracket close and semicolon. This means it will append. Append means to add. It will add character to the current cell. Bracket close for the else block, bracket close for the for loop. Then cout, print the value of cell and then endl semicolon. Bracket close for the while loop. Then once all this is done, file.close method semicolon to close the file. Then bracket close for the outer if block, else curly brace begin for else block, cout in double inverted commas could not open the file exclamation mark endl semicolon, bracket close for the else block, return 0 semicolon and bracket close for the main function. So if you see what happened here, first we opened the file, then we were trying to access the file, we were trying to read each line using this get method, then to print each character which is there in the line we use this for loop and we are printing all the value of the cells followed by space. Then we are using this for loop to print each character of the file. Lastly, we close the file. So all this will happen only if a file name data.csv exists. Otherwise, it will simply print could not open the file. Now let us run the program to see the output. So as you can see, the content of the data.csv file, it is exactly similar to what we got in the output. It's just that because it's a CSV file, the content is separated by a comma, while here we have printed it without commas. Writing to a CSV file. So for that we use off stream, just like we use if stream for reading a CSV file, we are going to use off stream to write data into a file. Its values are separated using commas and each record is written in a new line. What are the use cases of writing to a CSV file? It is used for exporting program data, generating reports and storing tabular results. Now let us go to the CodeChef platform to see how to write to a CSV file. Program objective is write user data to CSV. So here we have the file data.csv which is right now empty. There is nothing in this file and we are going to add some content to this file using offstream. Coming to the code, hash include iostream, hash include fstream using namespace std semicolon, int main brackets, curly brace begin for the main block, offstream file then in bracket data.csv in double inverted commas, bracket close and semicolon. Now in bracket file dot is open, brackets, bracket close for the if block condition, curly brace begin for the if block. Now we are going to write the header row. So just like we use cout command to print anything in the output, similarly we use the file command to write anything into the file. So file extraction operator in double inverted commas, name, comma, age, comma, city, /n to shift the cursor in a new line and semicolon. Now we are going to write the data in rows. Again file in double inverted commas, Bob, 25, Los Angeles, /n and semicolon. Then file extraction operator in double inverted commas, Charlie, 28, Chicago, /n and semicolon. So we are done with the writing operation and then we will close the file. So we will write file.close brackets and then semicolon. At the end, cout in double inverted commas, data returned to CSV, cout in double inverted commas, data returned to data.csv successfully, /n semicolon and bracket close for the if block. Then else, curly brace begin for the else block, cout in double inverted commas, failed to open the file, /n and semicolon, else block ends here, return 0 semicolon and the main function ends here. Now let us run the program to see the output. Okay, so it shows data returned to data.csv successfully. Now if we go to the file and see whatever data we have written in the code, it is added to the file data.csv. Single object JSON read. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It stores data in key value pairs. JSON is text based. In C++, we usually read JSON as a string, then parse it manually or using a library. What are the use cases of using a single object JSON read? It is used for reading configuration files, for user profile data, and for API response. Now let us go to the CodeChef platform to see how to perform single object JSON read. Here the program objective is reading JSON example. So in this example, we are going to demonstrate the usage of JSON read on a single JSON object. We will show how to open a JSON file, parse its contents into a JSON object, and access specific values such as name and age using keys. What are the steps that we are going to follow? First, include the necessary libraries. So we are going to use the JSON library to perform this operation. Then open and parse the JSON file, for which we are going to use an if stream to read the file and load it into the object. Then access JSON elements. So once the file is parsed, you can access the values by using the keys inside the JSON object. Coming to the code, hash include IOStream, hash include fstream, hash include in double inverted commas JSON.hpp. Then using JSON is equal to NLOHMANN : JSON semicolon. So it is basically an alias, that means an alternative for the NLOHMANN JSON library. Then using namespace std semicolon. Int main brackets, then curly brace begin for the main function. If stream file, so we have created an object file for if stream and semicolon. Now let us open the file. So file.open. In bracket we have given the name of the file, data.json bracket close and semicolon. So here we have the file. This is the content of the file. Then if. So with the help of this if block, we are going to check if the file is opened successfully. If in bracket file.is open, brackets, then bracket close for the if block condition and curly brace begin. Now we are creating a JSON object. So JSON, then J semicolon. Now we are going to parse the file content into JSON object, for which we will write file extraction operator J and semicolon. So here this extraction operator will read from the file and parse it into JSON object. Now let us access values from the object using keys. So we will write cout in double inverted commas name colon, then J, and then inside square bracket in double inverted commas name. So these are basically keys which we are using to print the elements of the file. Then endl semicolon, cout in double inverted commas age colon, then J in square bracket age in double inverted commas endl semicolon, bracket close for the if block, else curly brace begin. If the file is not opened, then it will print cout in double inverted commas failed to open the file endl semicolon, bracket close for the else block, return 0 semicolon, and the main function ends here. Now let us run the program to see the output. So as you can see, we have successfully read and printed the content of the file data.json. You can see it from here, it is exactly the same content. And that brings us to the end of this video on file processing in C++. Today you learned how to read and write CSV files, handle JSON data, work with single and multiple JSON objects, and manage structured data like a real-world project developer. Now comes the most important step, that is practice. So head over to the CodeChef platform, try out the linked problems, and apply whatever you have learned by writing real code. Thank you so much for watching.